Steve Graham is bracing himself for another marathon trek.
So I've got 4,700 Ks and I've got 7 days.
Steve knows the Outback like no other, but on this trip, he's heading into the unknown.
You always get a bit nervous when you're doing something new. I don't care how old you are.
His destination is in Australia's far north, at the end of a run most truckers wouldn't dare face. Arnhem Land is Australia's final frontier. It's home to some of the most remote communities and the most unforgiving dirt roads in the country.
It's a new road, which is a mongrel of a road. It's a barge at the other end. Problem with this bloody barging is tides. It's out of your control, you know, and no one wants to pay to hang around for 13 days for the next tide.
Steve's got one shot at catching the barge, and if he doesn't deliver, he doesn't get paid. On board his truck, $350,000 worth of solar equipment. Steve has to load the 40-foot containers onto his hired trailer, using its inbuilt crane. Sounds simple.
Shut out, doesn't like it.
But only if the crane works.
No.
The fragile freight's going nowhere.
Have you blokes got a battery anywhere here? I'm trying to restart it. We've got a flat battery here, so we'll just put some jumper leads on it. And it's still showing a fault. I don't think it's the battery, mate.
If Steve can't fix the problem fast, he risks missing the tide and barge. He'll have to call the hire company for help.
God.
Suddenly, the whole job's on the line, and Steve hasn't even left the yard.
I can't believe it. This is and I'm really under the pump. I've got to catch a tide, and the friggin' phones are down in Maddington. I can't get hold of them. Something as tiny as a little 20-cent, 20-amp fuse could maybe be holding up 4,500 kilometres, catch a barge, all of that, the millions of dollars associated with this whole bloody job. Let's try a fuse, mate.
The whole trip rests on a simple replacement fuse.
That's a relief.
There you go.
At last, the precious solar equipment can be loaded.
One 20-cent fuse. Nearly cost us millions.
Steve's marathon run can finally get underway.
We'll just ride with that. It's all going to go smoothly from now.
Ahead are 2,000 kilometres of bitumen through the vast Western Australian desert. But the further north Steve goes, the hotter it gets. 100 k's out of Broome, the temperature's pushing 40 degrees, and Steve's feeling the heat.
I had a mongrel day yesterday. The air conditioner had gone in this truck, and I'm going to go and get it fixed. I'm not going to do the next 3 days without an aircon.
Steve's hoping the job should be a quick fix. But there's bad news from the mechanic.
After replacing the compressor, there was still a leak in this unit. So now the boys are welding it up. It's always nerve-wracking, and time is just running away from him.
He needs to get moving. Time to get the mechanic's verdict.
At the moment, its holding pressure hasn't dropped at all.
Right, this truck's good to go. It's time to make a mile. I'm glad I got that repair done. That's good, but it also cost time. It cost me a good half a day. It's nearly 1 o'clock now.
While he's back on the road, Steve knows any more delays could break him.
I can't ring up and say I'm going to be half a day late because there's a tide.
And soon he'll hit the dirt, where his speed will drop to keep his fragile load safe. This remote wilderness is Arnhem Land. Out here, the roads are as tough as they come. Steve's beaten most of Australia's roughest runs, but he's never dared take on the road ahead.
Today's the day I want to break the back of that run out the Arnhem Highway. I want to get most of this job done.
Now he's about to head into the unknown with hired gear he doesn't trust.
That engine under there does worry me. To me, that's a very exposed little engine. I hope there's not very many rocks on this road. If they start flicking up, I'll be keeping an eye on that. That's critical. I can't get these containers off without that.
If he damages the trailer's engine, Steve could be stuck in the middle of nowhere with freight he can't unload.
My worries now is how good or bad that road is. There's the dirt. We've hit the dirt.
As he leaves the bitumen behind, Steve's on high alert.
This next 400 kilometres, I'll be looking at new country.
But soon, he's met by a familiar foe.
Welcome to my old mates, the corrugations.
The corrugations are giving the truck a beating.
They're doing damage to your trailers, your running gear. They're doing damage to your freight. If this keeps up, I'll have to poke along even more slowly, like walking pace.
Steve knows the barge won't wait. If he goes too slow, he could miss it. Too fast, and he could damage his precious freight. And ahead is another hazard.
We're at the Goyder River. Just about to get the Goyder River crossing done.
To get through the river, Steve will risk more than just his truck. But first, he needs to check the load. Under the hire trailer, Steve's worst fears are confirmed.
Now, I've got a serious problem here.
The crane's engine has taken a huge hit.
The spare tyre carrier's fallen to bits. And it's dropped back. The tyre's obviously bounced up. It's smashed the return line to the hydraulics and it's busted off the air intake under here.
With the crane's hydraulics smashed, Steve has no way to unload his vital freight. The damage bill could cost thousands. But worse still, the barge is over 400 kilometres away. And Steve's alone, deep in the vast, untamed wilderness of Arnhem Land.
I'm pissed off about this. I allowed time for drama, but what really worries me with this is I'm here to deliver these containers. This could be a mechanical failure that I really didn't want.
With daylight fading, a temporary fix is his only hope.
I'm just sealing this stuff up so it won't get any dirt in it. I didn't think its own tyre was going to come back and hit it. It's the worst possible, absolutely worst nightmare that could ever happen because it's going on a barge to an island, one of the most remote places in Australia.
By the time Steve's made repairs, it's night. Now he'll face the river, driving near blind.
I don't know if there's saltwater crocs in this river or not. There probably is. I'll take it for granted that there are.
If he loses traction, he could grind to a halt, with no choice but to enter dangerous waters. He's through, and one step closer to getting help for his damaged trailer.
At camp tonight, and I'll get up very early and I'll start idling in. Well, I've had a lousy night's sleep, not much at all worrying about this. Everything rests on this thing working. This is a nightmare, and I've got to get on with it now.
If he can't get the crane engine fixed in time, Steve will miss the barge, leaving a community without solar power, and the roads making it painfully slow going.
I'll probably only go 5 kilometres now, maybe less. I'll just see how the road feels.
Every few kilometres, he must stop to check his temporary fix is holding. With the high tide just hours away, it's the last thing Steve needs. But ahead, there's a glimmer of hope.
Well, I'm hit some bitumen, so I reckon I'm about 20 or 30k out of town. Find somewhere to set myself up and start fixing this bloody engine.
Now, The whole job hangs on whether Steve can find a mechanic. Out here, it won't be easy. But at last, Steve's caught a break.
I've got onto a fella, a mechanic by the name of Brad. He's going to come and have a look at this.
If he's to make the barge, the repair needs to be done here and now.
Now, what's happened is this tyre rack's gone here.
The engine mounts are gone and the hydraulic lines have been ripped out. But the biggest casualty is the air filter.
That's yep.
It's a complex repair job, but with no time, Brad must improvise, giving it all in punishing heat.
It's lost maybe 80 litres of hydraulic fluid, so we'll pump the hydraulic fluid in it.
This is the last drum of Brad's oil. This is the last drum of oil in town. We'll go and hit the starter and see what happens.
The engine's running, but it's far from fixed.
It's like the alternator sees, Steve.
Oh, yeah, might have got full of dust and shit, mate.
It's jammed.
Steve's hopes of making the barge are fading fast.
The actual cooling fan now is jammed in the radiator housing.
To make the fan blades spin, they'll have to be trimmed by taking to the engine with an electric saw. It's a painful sight, but it's Steve's last throw of the dice.
It's not pretty, but it'll have to do.
You good to go?
Yep.
Going.
The engine's running, but will the crane work?
Righto, mate, I can't see anything. Just tell me what's happening.
Yep, we're good. Good result. We seem to be back together and, yeah, away we go.
That's a relief. That's an absolute relief.
Thanks to Brad's bush skills, Steve's back in business.
Pleasure meeting
Very
you.
good.
Pleasure doing
Yeah.
the job.
Now he needs to make that all-important barge. With high tide less than an hour away, it's a final dash to the dock. After 4,500 grueling kilometres, Steve's made it, and just in time. Long-distance trucker Peter Titoff is getting set for a cross-country haul. To his friends and foes, the 48-year-old is better known as Turbo.
I've come from Brisbane to Townsville, done me drops, and from here we'll go straight through to Darwin.
Turbo makes his living hauling mixed freight. Whatever he can, wherever he can.
A mixture load is something that I sort of specialise with, is a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of everything, not just a straightforward run-of-the-mill everyday load, because anybody can do that. Well, I'm not just anybody. I'm me. I'm Turbo.
On this job, he's moving 3 trailers of tyres, foam bricks, and a truck cab and horse trailer. As a one-man, one-truck business, Turbo's competing with Australia's biggest trucking firms. But after 20 years on the road, he's decided to go head-to-head with the big boys.
New girl, and I've just taken over a new company. So now it's world domination for P&J Transport. I'm taking on so much because I don't want to be a little fish in a big fish pond anymore. I want to become one of these sharks that are in the fish pond.
But that kind of fighting talk doesn't come cheap. Turbo's risked it all, buying 2 new trucks and 3 loading yards.
You're looking at half $500,000 in buying out this business and setting it up, and that's just in gear. Then I've got to turn around and I've got to start, I've got to put fuel in it. I've got wear and tear, registration, insurance. I've got to make sure that all the freight's on there and the freight keeps getting loaded all the time. Every time those wheels don't turn, you don't make money.
With everything on the line, Turbo's beginning the biggest gamble of his life.
I could end up losing the lot. That's the biggest risk. I could lose everything I've worked for. And that's a chance that I'm willing to take.
With his new business at stake and 2,000 kilometres to go, he needs to hitch up quickly and get moving. Turbo needs luck on his side.
Okay, cross fingers, arms, legs, toes, bum hair and nose hair. I've earned it.
His road train's connected, but there's a problem. The lights on his rear trailer aren't working.
Heap of shit lights.
Without them, Turbo's going nowhere.
Frustrates the shit out of you.
With night falling, repairs will have to wait until tomorrow. Next morning, time for repairs, Turbo style.
Zip ties and duct tape. Just got to chase the problem, see what's going on. It's not this plug, I've just pulled this one apart. It's shit I don't need to happen right now. Why can't everything just be automatic?
A faulty plug seems to be the cause.
We'll go get a plug.
Only problem, Turbo's out of spares. To find one, he'll have to hitch a ride to the nearest store, 60 kilometres away in the sleepy town of Julia Creek, where it's Sunday morning. It's a simple $20 part, but if Turbo can't find one, he'll miss the deadline on a priceless job for his new firm.
I'm chasing a 7-pin round plug for the trailers.
There's word of a local mechanic who might be able to help.
All right.
Only problem is that around the back of the workshop, there's hope. On his day off, the mechanics come in.
There you go, mate. Just chasing a plug for a Susie coil.
Yeah, I'll let the ferals in.
Yeah?
Just go and get it.
This is one thing that I love about the little country towns. You know, people will always be there to help. They're the ones.
And he's got the answer to Turbo's prayers.
And that's how we rewire. Woohoo, was they on? I nearly fell ass up then.
With the truck repaired, Turbo can get moving. To make up lost time, he has a big day ahead.
Go Julia Creek to cross to the Curry, from there into Isa and cross over into Northern Territory. Roughly about the 800 to 900 kilometres for the day.
Such massive distances mean massive amounts of fuel. At this pit stop, Turbo will pump 1,500 litres of diesel into his tanks at a cost of nearly $2,500. While diesel hurts Turbo's wallet, it's the damage it does to his body which has more serious consequences.
If I service one of the trucks and I get diesel on me, it affects me. I end up really crook.
After 20 years driving trucks, constant exposure to the toxic effects of diesel has taken its toll.
Diesel, which has seeped through the pores in my skin, which has then gone into my blood system. So I literally have diesel coursing through my veins. Eventually it will screw me up to where I won't be able to drive.
It was Turbo's illness that inspired him to build his new business for his and his family's future.
Plan is for the company, for everybody all over the world to know us. I'm setting it so my daughter has something, so once she's of age, it's going to be there for her, and it's going to be the biggest thing that she will have left of me. The only thing that's slightly playing on my mind is the wind factor.
And a clear radio.
There was a case.
Yeah, mate.
Was
Just put in the GPS 2,800 something kilometres.
There was a
Yeah, I
case.
just had a quick add up and I reckon it was 2660 or something, so yeah.
Who gives a shit about your shit?
Get used to sitting in a car.
Some people, they'll sit here and they'll just talk shit. Absolute just waffle on. You know? Oh, we had bacon and eggs for breakfast this morning, and oh yeah, well, the dinner that we had.
taking a while.
Better, right?
Yeah, we can see you up in front. We're sitting on 110.
Who gives a
Yeah, we're a little bit above that, I think, but it's all good.
That's why you don't talk shit on the radios. Because there's an oversized load coming, they're talking shit and I couldn't hear them call until she's called it to someone else. You know, I need to know that shit's coming at me. You know, the edge of the road just caught me the last second.
Oh, you're right, mate.
Have a good one, eh?
With the dramas behind him, Turbo can cool down to his normal, relaxed self.
Brain dead car driver, he's got no brains in his ass. Pull over, let me go past you. 130 kilometre an hour speed zone, and he's doing 70. Plenty of opportunity to pull off, and oblivious to me being behind him. Hasn't once looked in the mirror. And I can't overtake him because we're in bends, climbing a hill. Just because they're on holidays, they think that I've got all the time in the world for them. To drive up here, they need to learn to drive in these conditions. We're all out here doing a job and we need to know what's going on. What's going on there?
It's an engine warning alarm. It could be a sign of serious trouble.
Just coming to engine shutdown. Why? I'm going to pull up. I'm going to throw the bonnet.
Turbo's had this truck less than a month. To buy it, he's gone deep into the red. If the engine problem is serious, both it and the gamble of a lifetime could be about to blow up in his face.
I've just popped the cap. It's got plenty of water. Now all I'm doing is I'm having a look to see if I can see anything.
Turbo's hoping it's just a minor fault that set off an engine sensor. If he's to make it to Darwin today, he'll have to risk it and push on.
It's coming back to being a sensor. Only thing I can do is keep an eye on it. I'll get to Darwin. I'll get it on a computer in Darwin and it will tell me exactly what it is.
If this gamble doesn't pay off, Turbo risks getting stuck in the outback with a massive tow truck bill to pay. And it's not looking good.
Come back again. It's got to be. Say it's a sensor.
Despite the risks, Turbo keeps going. He still has 500 kilometres to go, and daylight is almost gone. Finally, after 3 hard days on the road, Turbo's made it. Despite his troubles, this trucker's ready for more.
2,500 clicks from Townsville through to Darwin. A couple of little teething problems. You got to expect it. I didn't know how the truck was going to run because this is the first major trip I've put out with it. Best part is one trailer's unloaded, unload the other trailer in the morning, turn around, fully load both trailers again, straight out of Darwin, straight back to Brisbane. So I'm happy.
He's passed the first test on the road to building a trucking empire. It's the end of this journey, but just the beginning of a far bigger one. For Sharon Collins, keeping her whites white and her colours bright is a constant battle.
Me.
In Cloncurry in Australia's north, if the dust doesn't get you, the mud will.
Covered in mud now. There's no glamour in this industry at all.
38-year-old Sharon is a tip truck driver.
I do my job, and I do my job well because I love it.
Her job is to pick up ore from a mine site and then tip it at a processing plant. Sounds simple enough.
Ow, it just blew it.
Few men choose a life like this, and even fewer women.
It is hard on bodies, it's hard on machines, it's hard on gear. Tyres blow, it's...
In Australia, less than 1 in 50 truckers are women.
It's a tough life, but I'm a tough person. I need pressure, I need challenges. I'm here because I love these big machines. They're absolutely impressive. Mate, they rock.
Today is Sharon's last day before she goes on break. And she's counting on a big one, despite the forecast.
I had a look at the weather map this morning and there are predicted showers in our area, so aim to get the 2 in before the storms start.
The 2 return trips will take 8 hours. But if there's too much rain, the dirt road into the mine will shut down. Sharon only gets paid while her truck's working.
When wheels don't move, money doesn't get made. I can't rack up hours, so I don't get paid either.
Sharon needs a full day's work to keep her head above water. But the clouds ahead look ready to sink her.
I want to get out there quickly, so try and get in before the storm hits.
The further she drives, the darker it gets. Sharon's day is looking like a washout.
It looks like it's from here to the end of the earth.
But as quickly as the rain arrives, it's gone. Lucky for Sharon, she only caught the edge of this thunderstorm.
So once you go through the storm and come out the other side, it might not be that deep.
Sharon makes it to the start of the dirt road into the Lady Jenny copper mine.
Train inbound, Lady Jenny front grid.
Now she must really focus. Ahead lies 20 kilometres of jump-ups.
It's got a couple of hills that have got a bite to them.
Blind corners.
It is roller coastery.
And creek crossings.
Train inbound, Sandy Creek.
Not the kind of road you want to haul a rig as long as a 17-storey building.
Train inbound at the grid. Oh. I'm off it. Welcome to Lady Jenny. She's pretty impressive. Righty-ho.
Time to load up. Going in the back, 73 tonnes of ore. Sharon's truck now weighs more than the space shuttle.
Thanks, mate. See ya.
With that much rock on board, she'll need to nurse her rig on the drive out.
Pulling through, you don't want to start skidding because then you're just going to start wrecking tyres. Oh.
But up ahead,
One big mongrel rocket that got to that creek there.
the warning comes too late.
Picked up off.
A tyre's blown.
Hope it's only one. There you go. Well, at least it's only one.
Dust and grit have worked their way into the wheel,
This is where a tyre on would be handy.
locking the 55-kilogram tyre onto the hub. Tight. Sharon is 3 hours into an 8-hour job. If she doesn't change this tyre soon, she'll only have time for one load, slashing her paycheck.
Seriously?
But after 30 minutes of bruising struggle,
Me?
the only thing coming undone is Sharon.
You might want to stop for a minute, mate, because I'm going to crack it in a minute. I did 6 of these one day. Who wants to go to the gym?
It's been a grueling workout, costing Sharon 2 hours.
It slows you down and then your 12-hour day turns into a 14-hour day. Man, it's hot. Sweating. Right, that's done.
Sharon makes it to the safety of the bitumen. But just as she thought her troubles were over,
My middle trailer is sitting out a whole lot further than normal.
one of Sharon's trailers is pulling to the right, dangerously close to the other lane.
You shouldn't see my second trailer at all.
If it gets any worse, it could clip an oncoming vehicle.
I know something's wrong, but I don't know why.
If Sharon's trailer is damaged, her paycheck and her day will end here.
Have a bit of a look, make sure nothing's broken. Nothing looks like it's broken,
But Sharon's still not happy.
I might just have a look where my load's sitting. It might just be the loads on one side. Holy shit.
Sharon's found the culprit,
There's some big rocks in there.
all 24 tons of it.
So there's nothing down your left-hand side, so everything's sitting sort of middle and right-hand side. And obviously the weight's just pulling my trailer out of alignment, so at least nothing's broken, but it'll just be a slow trip.
Sharon has little choice but to keep watch and hope the trailer doesn't swerve out any further.
We'll go and tip off and see how she comes coming back.
But soon, her concern is drawn away from her mirrors and towards the horizon. The black clouds she thought she'd left behind are now parked dead over where she needs to unload. And then, the bad news she's been dreading.
Brad's just texted me now, crop pin's just shut.
There's been a torrential downpour at her drop-off point. The plant has closed its gates. Her plan for even one run today looks impossible. If Sharon can't unload, the truck's at a standstill and no one's making money. She needs the plant to do her a favour.
And I know you guys have said no, but I see that big cloud out the back and I'm just a bit worried about, not getting it off tomorrow either. Righto, mate, I'll be in there within half an hour. Thank you very much. See ya.
Sharon's got 30 minutes to get in and out.
Righto, we're allowed in as quick as we can, get off before the storm hits, because she's a pretty big front apparently. Pressure's on now.
The plant is still 4 kilometres away. As she gets closer, she sees why they closed it. Sharon's truck is the first here since the downpour, making these uncharted waters.
Unreal. That look real good.
She has no idea if this road can take the weight of her 100-ton fully loaded road train.
We were skidding the whole way getting them trailers through. Road train from the Turkey's Nest to the crossroads. Train inbound from the crossroads to the bottom of the rung.
She's made it to her drop-off point with time to spare. But then,
Wow, I don't want to go through there. It's all too boggy to drive through.
she's got 10 minutes to unload 73 tons of rock and she can't afford to get stuck.
See, I'm slipping.
She needs to keep her wheels moving and unload at the same time.
We'll just have to go around and round and round.
But the more she moves, the more chopped up the ground gets.
Keep moving, keep moving.
to go, and Sharon's got one trailer left.
Road train off the ROM to the crossroads, outbound. Let's get them out of here.
She can finally take a break.
That's done. That's the last load. We're out.
Sharon's taken on some of the meanest trucking in Australia to move a mountain.
It's a tough life, but I'm a tough person, and I think I do my job, and I do my job well because I love it.
In a remote corner of New South Wales, 40-year-old trucker Bumper Farrell is preparing to make history.
Just keep the dream alive, just slow and steady.
For 4 years, Bumper's driven the big rigs. And for the last 2 of those, he's made it his mission to truck donated hay to farmers in trouble.
You're working off your heart. If you've got a big heart, you'll do anything.
But now, Bumper is assembling a convoy bigger than anything ever done before.
If I do stuff, I'll make sure it's done right and it's done big.
120 trucks, 7,000 bales of hay, 1,500 kilometres of road.
This drought never went away. It stayed there, and it's only getting worse. We're looking at 270 farmers from a radius of 450 k's of Ilfracombe, so it's a big area we're hitting. So you just go back around again, and there's a single, this purple single, just park behind him.
Organising this epic operation has cost Bumper 5 months of his own time and a lot of grey hair.
Hi, you've reached Dan here. Just leave a message.
And I'm trying to deal with truck drivers and hay suppliers and farmers. It just doesn't stop. You're answering phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning. Play with that for an hour. If it rings, answer it.
But now, with the massive convoy due to leave in only a few hours' time, Bumper's wondering if he's bitten off more than he can chew.
I've told every single person to be at Darlington Point at 6 o'clock. Here, at Darlington Point. Yeah, very stressful. It's been a very uphill battle.
His latest crisis is a big one. One of his 120 trucks is missing in action.
Truck that's doing walkabout. He won't answer his bloody phone. There goes my head in. I can't seem to get hold of that bloke anywhere to save myself.
Every last bale has been promised to someone in need.
I can't leave any hay behind.
If Bumper can't find another truck, then a farmer down on his luck will be set for another big disappointment.
I can understand when truck drivers can't go, but when they don't ring me up and they don't turn up, then I get pissed off. Hello, Brendan speaking. You in Griffith? Right, see you about half an hour.
He's saved. A trucker from a nearby town has put his hand up.
I just turned up about 15 minutes ago.
All right, beautiful.
Bumper's biggest convoy ever is ready to roll.
Righto, today's the day. This convoy will be 80 k's long. Don't be a dick on the road. At the end of the day, it's not about me, it's about hay to farmers, and we've got to remember that. Quick in, quick out, and then spread out. Ready! 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 Don't start that shit. Righto, let's get moving.
120 trucks are loaded up with all of the 7,000 donated bales. Bumper's master plan is becoming a reality.
Yeah, I've got to go. Oh, little man. The pressure on my family has been huge. We're going to feed the cows. Can you help Mum for me? All right, I've got to go. You'll be down the back with me. Yeah, I'm just coming out of the golf course now.
From the front truck to Bumper at the back, the convoy is a staggering 60 kilometres long. With so many vehicles on the road, Bumper's expecting problems. Just not with his own truck.
I've got no revs, no nothing. She's just died in the arse. Yeah, Brady, Bumper here, I've just died in the arse. I don't know what's going on. The engine's still going. Nope, she's f***ing stopped. No. Hang on, I've got no power steering, no nothing.
With his 120 truck convoy disappearing in the distance, Bumper needs help, quickly. After 20 minutes, Guy, the convoy's mechanic, arrives.
Wine's over.
Wine's over, doesn't go. So there's nothing pissing out of it anyway.
No.
It's a trucking mystery with a plot twist.
Guy, found the problem.
You had fuel.
The fuel tank is empty.
Me.
With all the running around and confusion to get everything all loaded and done, one truck's accidentally gotten filled up.
My truck's been going flat out with other people driving and getting loads of hay and that. I haven't filled up. The boys have been having the trucks for the last 3 days. We filled everyone else's trucks except mine. No, I'm running the show.
With no service station nearby, they'll have to improvise.
It's not one thing, it's another. Pinch some fuel out of one of the extra support vehicles.
But now, Guy's fighting leaks.
No higher.
And gravity.
Right, come on. What?
Yep. Nah.
It's still not flowing.
Now it's starting to become a joke.
The only option, fuel from the nearest petrol station. Over an hour away. The convoy is more than 100 kilometres ahead and moving out of radio contact.
You there, Bumper?
I don't think how far back it is. I don't think you're in radio, right?
As the chief planner, they need Bumper riding with them and making decisions. Not stranded on the roadside out of fuel.
Fair dinkum.
And patience. After an agonising wait, the diesel arrives. But even fueled up, this truck is still in trouble.
Right?
Yeah.
At last, Guy thinks he's fixed it.
All right. Truck's running just a little bit sick at the moment. We're enough to get back on the road and catch up with convoys. We'll see what else today brings for us.
She's gonna stop.
My God.
Nah. Now I am behind.
He needs his truck fixed, fast. Guy might have found the problem.
There's a screen in the bottom of the pump. Got a bit of shit under it or something, because it ran out.
Dirt blocking the fuel pump. He clears it and Bumper gives it one more try. Guy's bush repairs have Bumper back in the race.
Honestly, it's all Guy. I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, we're back on track now.
But he's playing catch-up.
We'll go like the clappers. Non-stop, just go. Look, we're about 140 40 k's south of Cobar. All the rest of the trucks are at Cobar. We're northbound, hammer down, getting smacked back into it. There's no mobile service here at all.
Up ahead, the giant convoy has pulled over, hoping to work out where Bumper is. But with no phone coverage, lead trucker John is none the wiser.
I'm starting to think we should just head off.
100 kilometres back, Bumper's desperately making up ground.
For the bloke who's organised it for the last 5 months to still try and catch up with him, if I'm not on it, fair income. Catch-up truck driver. Love it. Bumper's coming into Cobar. Bumper's coming into Cobar.
No answer. And no sign. But a southbound truck has news.
Hey, Brendan.
Yeah.
The boys are just all heading north. Have a good trip up there.
The convoy is still out of reach. And with his tanks nearly empty again, Bumper's forced to make a pit stop. And now, another depressing discovery.
This bolt is grooving out of that tyre. Have a look at that axle. That front axle and that inside tyre. See the bolt? What's doing that?
Not sure if the wheels shifted or what's happened.
It's a dilemma. Keep going and risk destroying his
Is
tyre.
that one doing the same?
No.
Repair it now, and the convoy could drive out of reach.
I was going to say, once we get down the road a bit, we'll have a look and see what it looks like.
With fingers crossed, Bumper pushes on. As the organiser of this massive logistical operation, he needs to be making decisions up front. He's back in radio range.
About 10 k's, you reckon? I'm just getting on the back of it now. 160 k's, a flat stick, but we're here. We've made it. We're all back in a line.
He's arrived just in time. Straight away, there's a problem with one of the trucks. Bumper leaps into action.
Looks like he's done a wheelbarrow in the axle. Drive past Johnny Doyle and he'll work out which axle and where and what and how.
Yep.
With the situation under control, Bumper gets the convoy rolling again.
Johnny's going to get this show on the road. We'll sit on about 85, 90, Johnny.
For the first time today, Bumper can start to appreciate what he's put together.
It is one hell of a sight to see, I can tell you. Keeping the dream alive. We're about 10 k's out of Barrangung, where we're stopping for the night. Just bunching them up a bit.
Finally, Bumper can catch his breath.
Yeah, it's been a big day.
But only for a moment.
We're just under halfway of our journey, so yeah, another big day tomorrow. But the main thing is we'll get all this hay up to them.
With 800 k's still to go, 120 trucks to look after, and 4,200 tonnes of hay to deliver, the hard yards are still ahead.
The road is not good.
On the rugged Tanami track.
Things are already not going to plan.
Mark Cromwell is fighting a road and a deadline.
We've got this urgent job down in Cooper which we're trying to get to. They're waiting for us. I was meant to be there today. Don't think I'm going to get there today.
Having just finished one job, Mark and his team are pushing hard to get to the next. In the opal capital of Australia, Coober Pedy.
There's a big land lottery where the government has finally, after all these years, released land. So it's like a gold rush.
For the first time in decades, authorities have opened up prime opal country. Mark's mission: move some big machines for miners looking to strike it rich.
I'm not just after $100,000 or $200,000. I'm after $1 million.
Our aim is to just get off this dirt, get on the bitumen, get down to Coober Pedy and move some mining equipment.
Here we go.
It's a job with multiple loads, multiple customers, and multiple headaches. At the moment, it's the rough Tanamite track serving up the pain.
It is the harshest road that I know of, or that I've been on in Australia.
There's a truck dragging on the ground here.
What? On what truck?
The middle trailer.
Right, yeah. Oh, it's close. If that grabbed it, it just would have gone snatch. She would have made a nice little mess. Obviously, it's vibrated and the little latch has come out and she's just free-spooled, so why does nothing ever go to plan on this road? The deadline doesn't stop.
Deadline doesn't change.
We have to be at Coober Pedy. And yeah, it's going to be a long night by the looks of it. Maybe 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11, something like that, before we get off this dirt. We're about a day behind now, where we were hoping to be. We've had no phone service, so just got to hurry up and get to Alice and sort everything out. So it's pretty straightforward rule, really. It's just the bigger you are, the more right of way you've got.
But now a problem that could stop him dead.
We are running extremely low on fuel, which is not an exaggeration.
To make matters worse, Mark's truck has a fault with its fuel tank.
The fuel surges in the tank and it picks up air and shuts down on us.
To avoid sucking air into his fuel line, he needs a flat road with no sudden stops.
I just want to be able to make that nice sweep straight into the fuel bowser with not applying the brake at all. Fingers crossed.
Unfortunately, the last leg into town is down a long hill.
Just use the trailer brake.
Followed by a sharp turn into the fuel station.
Oh, you pig. I told you it would do it. Oh. It's just like reading a book.
Mark's engine's cut out. And he's lost his power steering.
It f***ing did it exactly where we thought it would.
Really?
On the last turn.
What a thing.
Hopefully I'll just get it up this ramp a little bit. Look at that. That's the fuel station. Pig. Reading quarter on the gauge.
A frustrating flaw in his truck means it sucks air and stops when the fuel gets low.
Will it roll start in gear off the starter motor? Like in low range? Like low?
Nah.
So,
Whoa, there we go. Nah. Come on. Yes. Head back in action. Not running nice. Not happy. Every truck's different. Everything's got its own little quirk. So we'll give it a nice big boot full of fuel and it'll be nice and happy. Hopefully that is not a sign of things to come for today.
Tank's topped up.
G'day, it's Mark, mate. How you going?
A quick phone call to his customer.
We'll be there by the end of today, ready to load.
And it's 450 kilometres to Mark's first job.
We're out of Alice. We're on the road to Cooper Pedy, but we are stopping at Marla first so we can load this machine on. I'm sure it'll all go smooth. What could go wrong? Just hearing a weird noise. Could just be as simple as a change of wind direction. That's not wind. That's not good. Get a copy back there?
Yep.
I've pulled up, but something has majorly sounds like gone wrong.
Hopefully just something loose. Pulley's gone. Yeah, the pulley's gone. What a of a day. So I need a new alternator belt and a new idler pulley.
Without an alternator belt and an idler pulley, the electrical system is crippled. Adding to Mark's frustration, this truck's just had a service.
When I told them, I said I want everything replaced. Cost of a $10 part, we're stuck here for no reason. When all these belts were already off. How many days ago, Matt? Oh, it's not rocket science.
Time for Plan B.
So we're going to take the trip carrier off so we can go back into Alice Springs and get some parts.
But Matt, a trained mechanic, may have found a silver lining.
That idler that only runs air cop.
Yeah.
So I can keep launching if you want, and you can just chase this down.
Yeah, we'll do that.
The damage is limited to the air conditioner. Matt and Brad can keep trucking, while Mark heads in the opposite direction, hunting for parts.
So I've got to get back to Alice and then get back to Marla tonight and then get this all sorted out. So, but I don't know whether this part's in stock. I'm going into the unknown, but I've got no phone service, so I can't ring.
After a frantic 14 hours getting spare parts and fixing his truck, Mark is finally ready to start this job.
And there it is there, it's a big machine. Morning, very good, Eunice.
Good. I'm just gonna go grab me one coffee and start her up.
Start her up?
She started anyway last night.
It's a good machine.
Oh, I don't know.
Originally from Montenegro, Eunice Hodrich has a new Opel lease 200 kilometres south, where he's keen to try his luck.
I was around here for a few years, which didn't do any good, so I'm gonna try down there.
For a one-man mining team, there's no better friend than a bulldozer.
I call her Queen of Desert. She was always in the desert anyway, that machine, anyway.
About 54 tonne. Little fat thing it is.
That's a lot of weight to load, with zero margin for error.
Have a look how slack the tracks are.
And steel tracks on a steel trailer.
Here we go.
Gives precious little traction.
Plenty of people have dropped these off the side. Just that's where it gets a little bit hairy because they got to give it a lot of throttle to get it up. And then if one track goes the other one, it can sometimes go whoop. He's a good operator, old Eunice.
Next stop, Cooper Pedy, and a big day of work. After this move, there's 2 more machines to shift.
We'll go from sun up to sundown. Like, there'll be no stopping. To try and get this all done, we're just going to keep going non-stop. So just work as a team and get it all happening.
Morning, sir. Shoot, mate.
Righto.
First drop off.
I'm off the road. I'm happy here.
Enjoy there.
Thank you.
Time for Eunice to strut his stuff again.
If you fire him up, mate, and lift the ripper up.
Oh, there we go. Look, he didn't even blink an eyelid. He just sat there. When it went off the edge there, she did a little bit of a shake, but glad I wasn't driving.
Well, good. I'm really happy anyway. I was just gonna take me another about 1 hour crawler down there, and I start digging a few holes, that's all, and see what's happened.
See you, Eunice.
On to the next job, collecting a bulldozer in Cooper Pedy for prospector John Dunstan.
That looks pretty simple.
But things might not be as simple as they seem.
Yeah, can I copy there, Mark? Mark Cromwell?
Yeah, copy.
Yeah, you got to come in through that gate.
Thought we were tracking it out here.
No, it's not to be done that way. The bulldozer has to be picked up right where it's standing now.
Is this a setup or what?
No, this is serious, mate. We don't want to chop the yard up.
Nice to tell me that just before I drove past.
The yard manager's very particular about how he wants it loaded.
And I said to him, we don't want the ground, just chopping all the ground up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of traffic comes in here and we don't...
No, he's coming in. He's coming in.
I'm trying to go back.
When you come off of the sea containers on the right-hand side, you can do a big arc around there. No worries, you come back in front of the dozer. You can go back towards where the gravel is, hold in the corner there, and by the old Army 6x6. Then back by the dozer, you'll be right.
We'll see if the little man is happy with this. All done.
And we'll go and grab the excavator. Yeah.
To collect the excavator, the team head off-road. Now it's on to the new Opal claim.
Corrugations are back. No matter where we go, we can't escape the corrugations.
On a bend, John spots a potential hazard.
Don't want him to do a tyre in. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay.
But Mark needs to keep his momentum to make it up an incline.
Oh, do not make me stop. Get into it. Get into it. Go on. Now, get ready. We're going to stick the thong up at here. Come round a blind corner, he was parked in front of me, and then all of a sudden there's this jump up right in front of me. I think we're here. I think this is the road. Thank God for that.
Finally, they've reached John's lease.
It's an old clunker, but it works good. All I've got to do now is find some opal.
For Mark, it's been another trial by Outback. to keep his customers happy.
Thanks, mate. Anytime.
Thank you very much.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
You might get frustrated with little things, but on the way home, when the job's all done and dusted, the boys sit there and laugh and chat about it, and, you know, we all had a good time.